just put me in a database, then peeled off. Didn't pull me over. That is infrastructure protection. They're watching everything, ladies and gentlemen. And they tell those poor state police guys, Al-Qaeda is going to blow up the chemical plant. Give me a break. But they can't stop the open border. So the same thing happened to this PBS photographer, and that's in the news. But I'm already burning time up here, and I said I'd go to your phone calls. I'm going to at least get to Tim, Ron, Michael, Pastor, and Coyote. But be ready with your points, folks, because I've got to get to this police state news. But continuing here. Okay, what number had I gotten to? The 6 biggest banks in the United States now possess assets equivalent to 60% of America's gross national product. Number 22, 4 of the biggest U.S. banks, Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Citigroup, had a perfect quarter with 0 days of trading losses during the first quarter of 2010. Yeah, it's completely rigged. I mean, these companies are the CIA. Or properly said, the CIA is Goldman Sachs. You notice the Russians didn't infiltrate the government. They infiltrated Harvard and Goldman Sachs and Wall Street. They're agents of influence. And the media is saying, well, they should be let go. Yeah, they're illegal aliens who had fake names and probably were spies, but they just wanted to be bankers' friends. Well, you don't infiltrate the government. The congressmen are all like fish on a trot line hook to the bankers. So you cozy up to them, the dirtbags. They've already taken America over. See how this is all hidden in plain view? 1.41 million Americans filed for personal bankruptcy in 2009, a 32% increase over 2008. BP has hired private security contractors to keep American people away from oil cleanup sites, and nobody seems to care. Number 20, yeah, the cops just follow orders. There's no law. Just like there's no law, Obama could tell the states they can't clean up the oil. But everybody just bootlicks. Oh, you say you have authority? Take my farm, take my ranch. Barack Obama, number 19, is calling for a civilian expeditionary force to be sent to Afghanistan and Iraq to help overburdened military troops build infrastructure. And he's calling for a draft, just like his chief of staff is, Rahm Emanuel. Oh, you don't believe me? Just go search engine. Rahm Emanuel calls for national draft. On June 18th, 2 Christians decided that they would peacefully pass out copies of the Gospel of John on a public sidewalk outside of an Arab festival in Dearborn, Michigan. And within 3 minutes, 8 policemen surrounded them and placed them under arrest. Number 18. And this story has links to mainstream news everywhere. See, it's all over. You come to a town that's Muslim, no free speech if they don't like what you say. You come to a town that's mainly Jewish, no free speech if you talk bad about Jews. You come to a town where, it's run by Baptists, you talk bad about the Baptist church, you get arrested. I mean, this is a mirror into how censorship and tyranny works. And then the feds come in and take over your town, which they're doing, and whatever they say they don't like you to say is now illegal, as Cass Sunstein calls for. I mean, here's America, open to the whole world, and you go to Dearborn, Michigan, and they got the minarets up and the call to prayer and everything. And what, Christians aren't allowed to be on the street handing out flyers? Christians aren't allowed to in Dallas. Daryl Rundus has been arrested repeatedly for standing on the sidewalk handing out flyers in America. Because it's Americans they've got to keep down. It's anybody trying, the system says, my gosh, somebody actually involved trying to be out here in free speech, we better make them shut up because mafia runs this country. You don't let slaves get out there and speak to others. Those little puny ants outnumber the globalists 100 to 1, and if they ever figure that out, it's over for the grasshoppers. I can't believe that story. In fact, I want to get those Christians on who couldn't hand out flyers outside the Dearborn, Michigan facility. The cops don't care if they're on a sidewalk and it's America and there's free speech. They arrest you. They were arrested for the free speech. 17, it's been reported that sales of foreclosed homes in Florida made up nearly 40% of all home purchases in the past part of the year. Yeah, the banks are buying it up. Somebody put $200,000 in a house, they get it for $5,000. During a recent interview with Larry King, former First Lady Laura Bush revealed that the world that she is actually in favor of legalized gay marriages and a woman's right for abortion. Well, they're not conservatives. Number 15, scientists at Columbia University are warning that the dose of radiation from the new full-body scanners going into airports all over the country could be up to 20 times higher than originally estimated. I told you that 2 years ago. It's meant to fry your DNA. It's targeting your ovaries and your testicles. It's high-powered. And they're recording it. You don't care, though. Your religion is submitting to tyranny. I'm surprised people don't go in there naked saying, please, kill me. And again, that's scientists at Columbia University, and there's a bunch of other studies saying that. They don't care. 14, 43% of Americans have less than $10,000 saved for retirement. The FDIC's deposit insurance fund now has negative $20.7 billion in it, which represents a slight improvement from the end of 2009. Number 12, the judge that BP is pushing to hear the estimated 200 lawsuits of the Gulf of Mexico oil disaster gets tens of thousands of dollars a year in oil royalties and has paid travel expenses to industry conferences by BP. See, corruption is now the law. Evil is law. Evil is law. Degeneracy and wickedness is what's protected. Goodness is bad. You understand that? Because crooks run everything, and they don't like anybody that gets uppity. It's about all keeping the slaves down, not scaring off the fish. You know, the globalists are basically like fishermen. They're like, don't bang your oar on the boat. We're catching these little suckers. These little stupid little fishies. Listen to this. In recent years, the U.S. government has spent $2.6 million tax dollars to study the drinking habits of Chinese prostitutes and $400,000 tax dollars to pay researchers to cruise 6 bars in Buenos Aires, Argentina, to find out why gay men engage in risky sexual behavior when drunk. That's probably figuring out how to put bioweapons in their food or something. You never know. I mean, you know, they'll hire somebody for a weird study. They don't know why they're doing it, and that's used by the CIA later to carry out some type of operation. That was just randomly throwing out, you know, a possibility. I'm not saying that's what's happening here. I'm saying it's been declassified. They used gay men getting hepatitis shots in New York in the 70s to give them the HIV because they knew they would spread it. Okay, continuing here. Number 10, U.S. officials say more than $3 billion in cash, much of it aid money paid by U.S. taxpayers, has been stolen by corrupt officials in Afghanistan and flown out to Kabul International Airport in recent years. Well, that's all by design. They openly grow the opium over there. The troops grow it. Number 9, according to a report by U.S. Department of Transportation Bureau of Transportation Statistics, the baggage check fees collected by U.S. airlines shot up 33% in the first quarter of 2010 to $769 million. Number 3, California high school students are fighting for their right to show their American patriotism, even on a Mexican holiday, after they were forced to remove their American flag T-shirts on Cinco de Mayo. That's now been happening nationwide. Number 7, right now, interest in U.S. national debt and spending on entitlement programs like Social Security and Medicare are somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 15% of the GDP. By 2080, they were projected to eat up approximately 50% of the GDP. Number 6, the total of government and corporate consumer debt in the United States is now at 360% of GDP. You understand? It's 3 times GDP plus. Number 5, a 6-year-old girl was recently handcuffed and sent to a mental facility after throwing temper tantrums in her elementary school. Number 4, in Florida, students have been arrested by police for things as simple as bringing a plastic butter knife to school, throwing an eraser, or drawing a picture of a gun. Oh, yeah. Number 3, school officials in one town in Massachusetts are refusing to allow students to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Number 2, according to one new study, approximately 21% of children in the United States are living below the poverty level. Since 1973, more than 50 million babies have been murdered in abortion facilities across the United States. See, if they can sell you abortion, they can sell you anything. Let's go to your calls right now. Tim in Michigan, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, man. Thanks for taking my call again. Listen, first off, I got 3 things I really want to cover. there was a interview that Bill Clinton gave, who he was just totally giving BP their props, and his exact statement was, I can't wait to get into your the oil can't wait to get into your gas tank. Whoever found this well from BP knew exactly what they were doing. This thing is a gusher. He never talked about the people, the effect of the economy. He never talked about...
No, it's all... Listen, we played a clip of Obama earlier. Even though they admit all these people are dying, getting sick, almost all the people from the Exxon Valdez are dead. They know it's very toxic to have people cleaning this up. Now it's going to come into shore, and Obama's on TV saying no ill health effects, no problems, just lying. What's the name of that video, Tim?